Okay, welcome back to my new video, and today I will be doing another sort of live commentary that I usually do. I apologize for being on a bit of a hiatus for 4 months, but that was because I finally got accepted into the university of my choice, and I'll talk more about that maybe in the next video, maybe later on in this video, I don't really know. So today's video will talk about trust issues. Now for me, first off I want to reiterate that I am an introvert, meaning I'm someone who is very quiet, who prefers to use less energy, and who just doesn't want to look like a fucking idiot, because the extroverts, they do a very good job of, acting like retards and, still getting the approval of, like, oh, I'll never do that, oh, I'm so embarrassed for you, oh, I pity you, at least you made a spectacle out of yourself, and extroverts, they thrive off of energy, introverts who prefer to preserve their energy. Um, so yeah, I think this occurred also because in my childhood, I remember even though I was very, very extroverted at times because, most normal functioning kids are like that. Um, I was always the very, very shy one. I had very little friends actually in school. I don't even remember any of my friends at all. During my preschool to to my first and fifth grade years, those were the years that I was still kind of finding myself as a person. And maybe the friends that I did have, I wouldn't really call them friends. They're more of just acquaintances that I saw every now and then. But yeah, I don't remember fifth grade honestly. Um, and then this transitioned into middle school, and in middle school, that's when I kind of found my sort of group to hang out with. Now, actually, in I believe in the sixth grade, I was hanging out with this one smaller fraction of friends, and ultimately they didn't really amount to much because it didn't really have like we as a group we didn't really have much in common. It was more of them, having more chemistry, and I was just sort of third wheeling off of them. So then eventually, I think in seventh grade, I started to get in touch, or someone approached me, and I guess they kind of took me under the wing, and they're essentially going to be my main friend group that lasted until I'd say my senior year of high school, because after senior year, a lot of your friends, they do split, and things don't work the way that they work out. So anyways, one instance of this introvertedness, and by the way, introverts like me were very, very cautious. We're very, very defensive of who we trust because we kind of tend to think that people in this world are very, very evil. You don't know what they're thinking, and they can manipulate you for their own personal gains. Of course, this doesn't apply to everybody, but there are people out there who do this for for entertainment, for fun, and I'm just kind of wary of those people in real life if I ever encounter them. It's like you never know how a psychopath or sociopath looks like because they look like a normal functioning human being. It's not only until you start to let them in that you will start to see if they're truly sane or insane. But anyways, yeah, the first instance of me having trust issues was actually in high school. It was during my senior year. And in senior year, this was the year where, a lot of people were applying for university to see if they could get into their dream school or the backup school, so to speak. And for me, my dream school from the start was Cal State LA. When I first got into high school, that was kind of my main goal, was to get into Cal State LA. And unfortunately, things didn't work out because my GPA was complete trash. It was like a 2.2 or something. And I had a lot of C's on my progress report, my overall grade. So pretty much this counselor, I remember seeing her because I had a biology class, and after the last day ended, after we took our finals, we went outside and we essentially waited in line with a bunch of other seniors to get our cap and gown package from the counselors. And then when I saw her, we just made small talk. She was like, "Oh, how are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm good," and that was literally it. And deep down, I mean, even though I was sort of soaking up the moment because I was like, "Oh, finally, I'm done," like when I came home, I realized that um, things didn't work out. I got my denied letter a few months ago before I took the finals, and it was kind of funny because I remember doing things like taking the SAT. I was I even thought about taking the ACT, but I'm not that smart. I remember taking the AP Euro class just to impress the universities, even though most people that got into the harder universities had taken a bunch of them before priorhand. Um, and then I remember, let me see what else. Oh, I remember writing a personal statement letter to the EOP, or the Education Opportunity Program, and they're pretty much the program that gives people a second chance you know, if they're low income to, you know, try to get into the colleges or universities of their choice. And yeah, I was just so fucking pissed. I was like, you, dude, how can you fail me? You know, like, I trusted you for 4 years, and then for you to just, you know, sell me on this idea of me getting a Cal State LA when you could have easily just directed me to, you know, a CC, I would have been much happier. But I mean, props to her. She gave me a false sense of confidence, but ultimately, all the hard work that I suffered for amounted to nothing. You know, all those times stressing over the SAT, the AP Euro, writing a fucking stupid letter amounted to nothing. And it's funny because in the Cal States, they don't accept personal letters, only the UCs do. And I was never getting to a UC anyways, so I don't know what her thinking was. So yeah, that's one instance of me being fucked over. And this was sort of disappointing too because, you know, eventually I had to apply online through a community college and eventually I started from there. But had I realized that, you know, I would have gone there a lot earlier, I would have had a much more laid back senior year and I wouldn't have to ditch so much and, you know, suffer all these sorts of unanswered questions. Another example would be during my senior year too. As a matter of fact, during my time at East LA or at the junior colleges. So for this one, like I said, I was sort of ending my year. That was just, I think it was a spring actually. It was pretty recent. It was the spring of this year, spring 2019, and I was taking 2 classes. So I'm like, okay, I have a lot of time, you know, in between because these classes are really easy. So then for me, I was like, okay, you know, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to end things on my note because you know last time with the high school thing, it didn't really end out the way I wanted to end out. And for me, it's like, okay, you know, since I'm a history major, I might as well volunteer. And this was because my high school professor, she actually, I'm sorry, my college professor took me to Cuba, you know, the one that I kind of trusted. She actually recommended that I get in touch with the head honcho of our local museum to volunteer. And I was like, okay, sure. And she kind of put in a good word for me and all that. And I emailed this guy like 3 or 4 times, and he didn't answer me. I even called in administration maybe once or twice to direct me to his fax number or whatever you call it, his office number. And turns out he never even answered me back until one time. I guess I struck gold or something. This man actually answered me. He kind of said like, "Oh, you know, just email me the stuff, blah blah, and I'll send you the information back." And I did, and I waited for a few minutes. Days turned into, you know, or sorry, you know, minutes turned to hours, hours turned to minutes, days turned into weeks, and then after that, nothing happened. Like, okay, this is the same shit again, where, you know, I trust my instincts. You know, the professor even put a good word for me, and this guy ultimately thought I was some nobody and decided not to waste my time or waste his time on me. And see, this is the reason why I have trust issues, is because, you know, I put so much stock into one person's basket. I put all my cards, I reveal my whole hand, you know, I'm a gullible idiot who, you know, trusts these people, and then I always end up short because, you know, they always view me as someone that's not worth their time, you know, someone that's not even worth a threat to them, you know, they don't feel a sense of uncomfortableness, they actually feel a sense of comfortableness, you know, kind of rejecting me and making me take L's and shit, and it's just very depressing being an introvert because sometimes, you know, when you're forced to open up, you know, to people that you don't know, things do get a bit awkward because for me, I'm always gonna have to rely on the fact that, oh, you know, my counselor fucked me over when I needed her the most. You know, the guy that, you know, never answered me back at the museum, he never gave me the perfect ending that I wanted when I graduated. And funnily enough, these stories happened when I was going to graduate anyway, so I don't know if that's some curse or some shit, but you know, hopefully everything goes well for my last graduation when I you know, graduate from Cal State LA. But yeah, that's the gist of this video. Being an introvert is obviously going to be very hard for people like me because, you know, we have a hard time accepting who's our friend and who's our foe. And as such, we have to create our own little defense mechanism in case anything goes wrong. Because if things do go wrong, then I'll kind of be mad at myself and be salty at them for like, first off, I'll be mad at myself for, you know, believing in them and looking like a fucking idiot. And then secondly, I'll be salty about them for, you know, giving me such a hard time when they could have easily told me that, hey, you know, we're not interested. You know, if they were completely honest, I think I would have respected them more as people. But the fact that they choose to play mind games with me, the fact that they choose to, you know, hide behind a computer or the fact that they choose to hide behind a desk and not confront me face to face is just very, very appalling because as grown adults, I expected better, but I guess in this world, people sometimes they stick to their old habits and they change for nobody except themselves. So yeah, that'll do it for the end of this video. I apologize for being salty. I mean, nothing. I mean, honestly, I have nothing against these professors. I just don't like how they executed their executions. But yeah, you guys will definitely see more videos in the coming days because I will be on a more constant uploading spree. The views don't really matter. It's just what it is. So yeah, thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video.